I've been used to intellectual teachings and moving forward in progression with intellect. I'm a bit confused about biblical teaching. I'm used to understanding the core values, whereas I'm not really used to kind of these statements that I make. I've always been taught in Islamic teaching, when an enemy is oppressing you, that you defend yourself. I've been taught that religion is God's teaching for humankind, and that if something's oppressive, I don't like it, I don't associate with it. So I'm a bit confused about the statements about love your enemy. I mean, I assume that because a rapist or a murderer or a dirty paedophile, I believe that he's my enemy. I don't believe that I should attack him, but I don't love him. I believe that God's religion and peace is fundamental to my understanding of how I should live my life. So I'm a bit confused about this Christian teaching. The second question I want to ask, if I may.
Let me answer that one, because otherwise I think that's so important. And I think you're bringing a common problem that many people who don't understand the gospel of Jesus Christ bring, and that is, how can you love your enemy? Carnally speaking, humanly speaking, I cannot. No, there's no way that I can love my enemy, somebody that comes to rape my wife. How can I love them? Yet that's exactly what Jesus has called us to do. And I cannot do it on my own. Absolutely not. I cannot do it except Jesus in me, except the Holy Spirit guiding me to do so. There's the beauty of the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's why I'm called to love my enemy. I'm called even to, when someone slaps me, to turn the other cheek. Now, it stands against all human reason. And you speak from human reason. But see, this is something way beyond human reason. This is only something God can give you. This can only come from the heart of God. And you're asking a question that only Christians can answer, because only in the New Testament, only in the gospel of Jesus Christ do you find that demand that we are to love our enemies, that we are to bring peace to those who persecute us. But again, I can understand your question. If you just come on board and let the Holy Spirit guide you, you'll have an answer to it.
That's end of questions now, please. I'm thinking about lots of questions still, and that's good, because we're hoping that this would spark discussion and interest, so that when we got there for the drinks and food, this can continue. Okay, so I'm glad that we're still interested. I'm going to invite the speakers back up to the podium to summarise what's happened tonight and make their final couple of points before we go upstairs.
From the Almighty Creator, and this is definitely the case, that all invite people to peace and peaceful solutions. And we followed certain quotations from the Quran, and my colleague referred to many from the New Testament to show how important it is to solve the problems by amicable ways, to be good to people, have self-denial, and try to solve everything in a peaceful way. What I ended up, and I can understand this, that we all agree that it is not the time to use the war and the fighting to achieve our objectives. We can achieve our objectives only by logical discussion, by something which is acceptable, by academic ways, and that's the only thing which I can do. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been good tonight. I think this is the beginning of something here at St. George's that needs to continue. I think it's important that we do come together as Muslims and Christians and continue to have dialogues, and yes, hopefully even debates on these issues. I think especially today concerning the violence that's happening around the world. Certainly it's being done by Muslims and Christians and those who are of other faiths. I think it's important that we do come and try to find out how we can find peace. As a Christian, I do say that the only source I know to find peace is through Jesus Christ. And as a Christian, the only place I can find peace is in the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I think it's been good today that though there have been some questions concerning that gospel, I find it interesting that almost all the accusations have been to the Old Testament. I have yet to hear any accusations of the New Testament tonight. And I think that says volumes. It's fascinating that if you want to find peace, and everybody does want to find peace. I know Tony Blair wants to find peace. George Bush does want to find peace as much as you doubt that. And certainly the people around the world in this room do want to find peace. I know of only one solution. That is Jesus Christ and His gospel. I welcome you to come and read it and to follow Holy Spirit, hopefully, you too will find a piece of truth. Thank you for that.
There is a slight problem with refreshments, and the room that's being booked won't fit everyone in. So the refreshments are going to be brought to you, so don't worry about it. We're going to do the questions now aren't going to be done in a formal style. At the front, there's going to be 2 stools set up at the front. One is a Christian stool, one a Muslim stool. So you can come and ask me questions. So this is the way that the events will